Chad here at the chat show OverReactions. This installment, I'm going to be observing a video and possibly commenting on, providing some counterpoint maybe even a little confirmation on a video from Garand. And here he is discussing projectile pass-through on drywall. Drawing a blank right now on the actual title of the video. Up top it says, what weapons and calibers are best for home defense? Let's see what he has to say. I have not watched it at all. Been waiting all day to be able to get around to doing this. So here we are, late in the eve, finally getting to it. So here we go. Pardon me. Gotta get some sound back here. Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. I didn't see me either. Could have killed me, but I guess you don't know which guns are going to do that because we haven't gotten through the video yet. Which guns are going to penetrate the most through drywall? This has been a topic of debate that's been talked about for a long time. Well, which one's going to be effective enough to put down a home intruder, whether that be a skinwalker or what, Micah?
A skinwalker disguised as an Amazon employee.
Yeah, same thing. So what's good enough to put them down, but at the same time, not so effective or so powerful that it's going to yeet straight through that wall of your house and kill your dog. This has been talked about forever, but I've rarely seen like good comprehensive tests with a large amount of weaponry. So we did have these drywall sections built up to code. This is American code, but if we're not going to do European code because you guys don't even have guns. You should work on that, by the way. And of all the weapons we have, they're almost all effective. We're going to see which ones just smoke straight through drywall and just straight through these targets straight through. So, but of course, before we get into it, we have to thank the biggest sponsor of the channel. The biggest sponsor of the channel is the Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're looking to get your start in gunsmithing, they are the people to go to. We cannot thank them enough. And yeah, go check them out because we're very appreciative of them. And who else can we not forget, Micah?
Primary Arms, and they make optics that you can stop home intruders with yourself.
You know what? That's actually the truest statement. That's actually pretty good, Micah.
Thanks.
I've got nothing else to add. Primary Arms, a big thank you to them. And of course, unlike camera that this is filmed on, unlike the TV and the phone that you're currently watching this on, AAC Ammunition is made in the United States. Go and support them. They're an awesome company, all US made, and they sponsor all the ammo for the channel, so we cannot thank them enough, but that's enough talk with sponsors. Right here with me, I have guest star administrative results, who's now doxed as Aaron. Thanks for coming on the channel.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. So drywall penetration test, we're pretty sure that every single bullet's gonna go all the way through. Agreed, Aaron?
I have a strong inclination to say that it will.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll do the test with one, and depending on how good it penetrates, then we'll add more layers of drywall with separation. So, not only are you shooting through your bedroom, but also through the hallway, into the kitchen, the neighbor's house. It can get pretty intense.
Yep.
You do know the punishment for graffiti in Idaho, correct?
Is it firing squad?
Yeah. Okay, first weapon we have is the 22. This is a Volkortsen 22 with a JK Armament suppressor and a PEC 14 and an aim point. You know what? You never know what you're dealing with. But I think a lot of people actually do use 22.
Mark IV, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, exactly. This is a Mark IV, basically. Really?
Yeah, it's got it.
Straight through?
I'm feeling this. I feel like it's gonna go through.
Okay, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, that's folks.
Yeah, I read a lot of people say like, oh, 5.56 will break up in drywall. That's a let around, bro. I think we're in for a bad time. I think you're just killing your neighbor no matter what you do at this point.
It's like a lot of urban legends about to be debunked right now.
Second test. You guys ready? All right, here we go.
It's like you're a dad or something.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe not a dad after that though. Oh! It stopped! Yeah!
No way.
Look at that! Next up, 9mm. So we have a couple
I wish
different
we'd show maybe he'll come back and show, but I'd like to see an actual close-up of that impact to determine what the bullet was actually doing when it impacted. I'm betting it's not going to be a circular impact. It will be elongated, meaning tumbling and pancaked along the flank of the bullet. I'll get into that in a second.
A couple different rounds. Let's be clear. A lot of people talk about FMJ going straight through walls. I believe that. I think
I'll buy that.
a whole point's probably 50%. So we have a FMJ to start. I'm guessing it's just going to smoke straight through the first one. Do you want to put a target straight behind there so we can? Yeah. Okay. We have the M&P 2.0, and we have FMJ, and we'll see how it does. So that went straight through our dog, and straight through the next piece of drywall, and exited and went into my child.
Kid number one is kaput.
Gone. Next up, we have G9, one of my favorite carry ammos, and I'm actually really interested to see how it does. It is a lighter round, it is 80 grains. So maybe it will have less power to go through everything.
It's the 9mm round that went to fat camp. Oh my God.
Well.
That had some ass behind it.
Yeah, it did.
It's a 9mm that went to fat camp and got fit, dude.
Yeah, no, that didn't change a damn thing at all. Next up, we have a normal hollow point right here. We have a MHP, and hopefully that stops it somehow. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think that did a damn thing. No, that didn't care. Okay, so we now have 4 layers of drywall. I do want to be clear. We do have studs right here where the screws are. This is built specifically to code and everything. But 4 layers of drywall, MHP, there is a chance it's going to deviate and hit a stud, and I think that has the best chance of stopping it. Because wood is hard. Yeah, we're trying to just go through drywall for right now, because I think wood has a really good chance of stopping it.
I mean, wood always stops certain things. No, that didn't work.
That's too late. That's not going anywhere. That joke is in there. All right, guys, you ready? Exit. All the way through, man. Maybe the really fast rifle rounds will break up in the drywall. Okay, next up, the most famous weapon, 1911 45. Here we go. Entrance, exit, entrance, exit, entrance, exit. Well, the 45's got that dog in them. Shotguns.
Shotguns.
Shotguns. So we have 2 different rounds we're gonna try. We have Federal Flight Control, horny critical defense, same thing pretty much, and then we have a Sabo slug. I think maybe the buckshot has a chance of stopping in the drywall.
I think it does.
What do you think, Micah?
Standoff is everything with that.
Birdshot? No, we're not doing birdshot. The
That
fuck is
distance is still in the shotgun.
this? Birdshot for home defense.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Okay, here we go with the
that's a slug at that distance.
Federal Flight Control.
That was impressive. I think. That's.
Come on, show the holes. Show the holes, man.
Yeah, that buckshot didn't give a fuck. We got about 3 pellets that made it to the back target. I do want to note that one of the pellets did get stopped by a stud right here. So we have 1 pellet that was stopped in the 4th drywall on the stud.
There
So-
There was actually, no, you didn't see it. There was another pellet that got stopped by another stud.
Oh, cool.
Right here.
Thanks. Next up, we have a slug. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Baby.
Yep, straight through. Hey, this is really cool. Come look at this. You can actually see the rifling on the slug.
Whoa.
And the wall.
Oh,
How
dang.
neat. I've been GT forever. Straight through the neighbor's house. And then, holy shit, still enough energy to go through the target. We have what a lot of people use, I know I do, a short-barreled 5.56.
Yeah, I mean, that's very rational.
Yeah, so we have an FMJ in here. We have 2 other rounds we'll try. We'll try a VMAX and we'll try a 77 grain.
Perfect.
And I'm guessing, here we go.
2 walls.
Actually, hold on.
Was that the VMAX first?
No, it's the FMJ.
FMJ?
So it looks like its course got diverted. Come look at this. So it was traveling sideways
Gnawing.
by the 2nd drywall, and then it went off course.
Oblong
I'm
hole.
thinking, let's try to shoot a little bit more center. Maybe we're onto something here. Round 2, FMJ. Entered, exit, enter, exit, enter, exit, enter, exit. Sideways, the round destabilized, and exit. This range is pretty big, Micah. You know what's great? Now we have the CF Moto utility vehicles. We want to give a big shout out to them for sponsoring the channel, helping us out. Can't thank them enough because there's a lot of land to walk around on.
Print
and,
money,
it's
man.
extremely
Print
tiring.
money.
It's a fact. Right, Micah?
You got tired of hearing me complain about it, didn't
No, not at all. I never get tired of you. Next up, VMAX. This is a varmint round. It's supposed to break apart in like a marmot.
In a marmot?
Yeah, or marmot, like a woodchuck.
What kind of woodchuck? South African woodchuck, East Plain woodchuck,
Western plain.
armadillo.
All right, let's see what the VMAX says.
I don't think it went all the way through.
Enter, exit, enter. Oh, it's starting to break apart. Enter, exit, in 2 pieces right here. Exit, stopped 1 piece of it right here. Continued, and stopped. Right there. Yeah, 3rd wall. You know what? That's not bad. To be very clear, this is AAC VMAX. Thank you, AAC ammo.
Thank you, AAC ammo.
Yeah. All right, we have an AAC 77 grain. I use these personally in my home defense weapon. Let's see how it does. Let's see how screwed I am at my house.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Enter, exit, enter, exit. Oh, it's going sideways. Look at that.
Whoa.
It stopped right here.
No. No. Is 77 grain OTN goated in the sauce?
We have the KR-103 from KUSA. This is probably the most common round in the world. If you're anywhere but America, probably your home defense round.
Or your hut defense round, because you're not in America.
You've been thinking about that one for a while?
That one, yeah, I was thinking about that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
In, out. We mark all those exits right there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. That is a perfect 7.62 by 39 projectile. It's straight through your neighbor's dog. Yep. Well, oh well. Next up we have the Elva, well, a clone, firing 300 Blackout, probably one of the most popular subsonic rounds. So it is going slower than the speed of sound. It is a heavy round, it's like 220 grains. 300 Blackout, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like you can't count on that to not kill your neighbor's dog. If you live anywhere but the inner city limits, you have the 4570 government, the only government that we trust, and yeah, lever action, America. In, out, look at all the powder right there. In, out, in, out, in, out, in. And dude, that did not deviate at all. Exit and straight through. 30-06.
That's all American.
This is World War II to a T, except with brick walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You're in quarantine. You're assaulting the Germans.
Here we go. Yeah. Don't use Garand for home defense.
No, unless you want to win.
The perfect M1 Garand projectile. And the perfect M1 Garand projectile exit.
All right, Mike, let's try the M1 Garand.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, do you hear that?
What is it?
Up 'em. Up 'em.
That's fine! Now, I know someone out there is going to be using a 308. Like you, what's your home defense weapon?
Definitely a 308.
There you go, an FAL, right?
How'd you know?
Oh, Rhodesia. You kind of like got like a blood diamond Rhodesia thing going.
I do, yeah, you got me there.
Yeah, I got you there. Anyhow, 308, we have the MR762A1. Continuing to rotate. And then let's see where that, where did that go? Where? Oh, there it is. And the exit.
I'm just letting this play
looks
out.
like it
I'm
went
not
off course at
gonna
that point. Okay, next up.
Wait a second. It's the op from
I'm trying to-
Counter-Strike.
It's not the opposite. We have a 300 Winchester Magnum.
He went there.
It is a very, very fast, very powerful round. I don't know why you would use this, but I'm sure some guy's got a hunting gun and he's gonna try it.
No, this is for our guys that like YY no scopes. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think so. Hit here, exited.
Off the left.
Yeah, went off to the side. One more. Ready? Entrance, exit. Entrance. Look at that. You know, ballistics just, these 30 cal projectiles are tumbling by the second piece of drywall. Entrance, exit, and then finally we have our last exit right there. Okay, let's sum this all up. Well, I've heard a lot of theories when it comes to home defense about what types of rounds you should use.
Pause this real quick, get this out there. There's quite a few variables that they did not introduce into this, or at least didn't address up front. Standoff from that wall when you're firing is huge. And it has to do with where the bullet's at within its external ballistic window of stabilization. As they come out of the muzzles, they're released at the crown. There is something called porpoising, and the round is spinning really hard, and it has to gyroscopically stabilize, and that really affects the nose attitude. And whatever that nose attitude is, as it hits anything off of perpendicular to the surface, is what initiates that initial yaw. And so the longer bullets have a longer window of stabilization that it has to occur before it's more of a nose-on attitude as it hits. It's not perfect. It's a little off. Think of the top as you spin it hard. It dances around the table until it tightens up. And then as it loses rotational velocity, it starts opening up again. And it's just, that all that is witnessed within the flight of the spinning projectile going down range. That all affects how it strikes, enters, transits, and exits a medium, be it a torso on a body or a wall or a piece of intermediate cover or hardened cover or auto glass or whatever. Where that bullet's at, factored with bullet construction and the velocity at which it hits. People just want to talk about kinetic energy. I'm like, dude, you're just throwing that like a talisman over the whole topic without it actually like parsing out what all's happening. I say all that. Let's see what he has to say.
I've heard, for example, that 5.56 is so fast that it just breaks up in one piece of drywall. Did you hear that doing police work?
Absolutely, I did. That was a common consensus. There's even times where they'd be like, hey, we have certain rounds that shouldn't overpin.
From what I've seen here, every single round pretty much had the potential to go straight through. Now, if they hit a stud, it could certainly slow them down and put them off course, but we had some rounds that on the third wall hit the third stud on that third wall, and they still went straight through.
Yeah.
I think all we can really take into account here is you really have to be aware of your backdrop when you're shooting, especially in a home defense situation.
Fact.
Absolutely.
You should know your angles prior to, if you know your family member's room is at that angle, then you should really consider things pretty carefully prior to taking that shot. These are things you should consider in your home defense.
Yes. Thank you, Mike, for saying it, dude. Every time I hear this over penetration discussion about how many walls it goes through, it's always this pure discussion of, well, this won't penetrate through more than 2 layers of drywall, or this. Everybody's banking on a missed shot. It's always based off of missing your target. So they're selecting a bullet for defensive use based on how well it doesn't perform at defeating a barrier, which in turn means it's not as good at defeating soft tissue supported by bone structure and cartilage. Like, they're looking at the wrong aspects of it. They don't need to be considering how it goes through walls and stuff. They need to be considering like what it does on the target and focus on hitting the right target. The best thing for stopping bullets besides dirt is bodies. Put it into the body first, quench that bullet in the body first, and it will go through far less drywall on the other side. Any whiz-bang bullets that are sold based off of not going through walls are going to be very, very anemic, poor performers on soft tissue. And they always encompass other things about them that make them really bad for duty use, like frangible. It's frangible. It will break in your magazine. It breaks in the box. Brand new box will be broken in the box because any jostling can cause them to break. Which is, if they break, they can shut your gun down or blow your gun up.
You're accountable for every round you send off. I mean,
100%.
even if you're defending yourself, you're going to have to face a very long, drawn-out court battle. Probably so.
Probably, possibly.
Yeah, you are. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say you are. I'm going to ruin your day.
Point is, be aware of where your rounds are going. I understand that there are certain rounds that are barrier blind specific rounds. We'll test those at a later time as far as their actual effectiveness on ballistic torsos. But as you can see, probably with most of the common ammo that you guys carry, I know I don't have, barrier blind rounds loaded in my weapons. They're going straight through, no problem. Absolutely no change to any of the ammo. From 9mm and on, it just went straight through everything. The only thing that did stop, what?
VMAX.
The VMAX did pretty good, I will say that.
Yep.
But like the 22 did great.
Yeah.
22 is it, right, Micah?
Yeah.
Not it. Not as ballistically capable. In any case, guys, point is, with everything, thought and especially training prior to, so that you know what angles you're shooting at, understand all that stuff. There's a lot of great places to get training from, Bear Solutions, Haley Strategic, all that good stuff. Make sure that you guys get that training. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We've got nothing else for you. Final thing for you, dad advice with our favorite Aaron admin results. Hit us.
Honor God, love your woman, and leave it all behind.
Love it.
What are we leaving behind?
Yeah.
It.
Whatever it is.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Who is that?
Who is that? Hey, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Huh? Hey, who is that?
Okay. So that was neat. I liked how they did their setup. They said it was built to code. It was a studded wall. It looked like it was 18 on center. They had their drywall screws. Another thing to factor into a code wall is also insulation, depending on where you're at. Some walls can be insulated, some might not be, some have to be. Specifically, the walls keeping bolts from leaving your home. Your exterior walls will have insulation in them, and most likely they won't be 2x4, they will be 2x6. So a little more standoff within the wall with fibrous material on the inside, which will help slow bullets. You also have wiring, you have conduit, you have pipes and plumbing that can deflect, but also slow projectiles leaving. What people need to understand when they're considering what ammunition to use, bullet construction, the projectile itself. Some of this ammunition they were using performed in a certain manner that might only be exhibited because of that specific lot of ammunition. There is variance within even military, whatever surplus projectiles or whatnot that might have thinner jackets or thicker jackets. Now there's actual design parameters where if the jacket is over a certain thickness or a certain percentage of mass of the projectile itself, that it becomes armor piercing at that point. So the thicker the jacket, the more sturdy and hardy it is against coming apart. As the jacket hits something, the copper of the jacket, and it's typically 3-part construction of some sort, at least 2-part on older projectiles. You will have, though, a 2 or 3-part construction, your jacket and your core. If it's a bimetal core, it might be like a lead slug behind a steel penetrator, or it might just be all lead, or it might be all steel. You will have your jacket wrapped around it, or it could be plated to it. If it's plated, it is actually atomically fused to the lead so it doesn't come apart. Now, all those variations. Oh yeah, it's 77 grain. Well, is it a plated bullet? Bonded? Is it a reverse drawn jacket? Which is it? Is it actually a copper solid? Like, you have various different bullet designs in there, types of construction. All will exhibit different performance results. Angle of attack, how that round is actually impacting your line of sight to the target. If you're aiming down like they were, you can see how in the background here, the targets are kind of in a descending height because they're standing there kind of aiming down into it. Well, you have an included angle here that they're hitting at. So yeah, it's drywall, so it's whatever 3/8, whatever drywall on either side, then it 2x4. So you have some taller stacking there. So your thickness of the wall is about this. Well, the second you start cutting a weird angle through it, your thickness that it's actually traversing is actually thicker. That the angle of incidence of the projectile hitting what its nose attitude is going to affect how quickly it yaws. When you look at the side profile of the projectile, you see you have the skinny pointy end typically, and then you have your bow tail, your flat base. If you cut it right in half lengthwise, most of the mass is in the tail of the bullet. So the second it hits off axis, the heavier tail is going to swing around to full flank. Eventually, it'll just come all the way around to full yaw, which is 90 degrees to direction of travel to tail first, going through the target. Now, it can keep spinning, but the point is, depending on the projectile construction, it might or might not come apart. It can also start diverting and off of its angle of attack and start climbing weird, unknown, unpredictable exit angles. A high velocity, properly constructed bullet, be it full metal jacket even, but preferably an open tip or tipped round, indoors within 5.56 or within 7.62. But understand 7.62 is far more abusive indoors just to the shooter shooting it, but also it's going to overperform. But a bullet moving fast is going to hit yaw faster. That copper is less dense than the lead core, and so when it starts hitting things, that jacket wants to slow down faster than the lead. And so in that moment when it hits, the lead starts splitting through it. And that's how you have delamination of the bullet or fragmentation of the bullet. If it's designed to hit and expand, what happens? Well, it just crushes. Now you have a less aerodynamic bullet flying past that point, which is incurring more drag. It's pushing through a larger channel in the wall. It will catch other things and slow down faster while retaining that mass. So it's not becoming multiple projectiles coming out the other side that could hit other various things. So an expanding bullet is generally safer, or can you guarantee more consistent results past the target because it has a consistent expansion of the projectile. It exhibits certain flight characteristics. Once it expands, that at that point it's going to hit, and it will hit a surface and drop. It might not break through the second piece and drop within the wall. Now the shotgun, shooting at that range with a shotgun, you have a shot column in front of a shot cup or wadding. The flight control cup being what it is there, nothing's really spreading out. So that 8-shot double-aught buck is coming out in a solitary, singular column. It might as well be a slug at those distances. And once it starts smashing into things, it starts diverting off. You're actually getting less accuracy out of the shotgun once you go through 3 walls and you see it start opening up. At that same distance with true flight control, his pattern would have been what most people would hope to be able to shoot with a pistol. It's within a fist-sized group at that distance from his firing point to the 4th target. Yeah, it'll put about a fist-sized group on target. So that printed group on that target that you saw, that was just sheerly multiple layers of drywall and cardboard causing the divergence of the pattern, opening it up. What's that tell you? Yeah, flight control's awesome, but you put one through a wall, you no longer own that angle. Hey, I know I have a clean shot through this wall. There's nothing important on the other side. This is my clean, safe backstop here. I can break this shot, and if I miss, I'm safe. Are you? Because once you hit those pellets, you no longer own that shot column. Like you don't really know where it's at because it's going to open and go divergent. And a lot of the rounds, well, the more angle you include that shot into that wall, it's going to start deflecting it if it goes through, and if it doesn't, it might hit and trace down the wall. It's more important to decide what's a reliable round in your gun that has the most consistent performance on target, not the backstop. He's testing performance against multiple backstops in depth to see what they do. And as they said, and I agree, and I've preached for a long time, is that people need to quit considering their misses that hard. Because what they end up doing, whenever they find the perfect bullets that go through the fewest amount of walls, what ends up happening is they end up with a bullet that's so anemic that it's not effective on a man-sized pissed off target. Like 22. So yeah, that's about all I got. Pretty cool little video. I wish they were showing actually what the bullets look like, so you could have seen more clearly. It did towards the end of how the bullets start making oblong holes. That bullet's doing something else. Second hit, it's doing something different. Pretty neat. Pistol bullets. So real quick, I don't have anything loose sitting out. Consider the cross section of a rifle round. Has the ogive to a point and back again. It's more shaped like a boat, like a top-down view of a boat, right? You look at a pistol round, it's short, fat, squatty. Whenever you rotate this from other axis, it's more of a cubic shape. It's more cubic. It's not rectangular. It's more square. So as that bullet hits, boom, boom, it doesn't deform and stretch and break as quickly or ever within the pistol rounds. Because when they hit, the same physics are in play. If it hits with a nose off attitude, when it hits, boom, it's going to tumble. Hollow points are known to clot with material, like down in a jacket and drywall, stuff it's enough to be cut by the nose of the bullet, but it's not dense enough to force expansion of the hollow point. So it clots it up and turns it into a ball of less weight. So what happens is it's just like throwing a hammer through a wall. Like the hammer's not going to break. It's just going to do what it do. And it's going to keep hitting stuff and breaking stuff until it loses enough speed to where it no longer has enough energy in it to break stuff. And so that's what you see typically with pistol rounds going through walls. Frangible will just sails right through drywall. It has to hit something incredibly hard like steel. It is designed for use on steel. Very limited scope of use for it in duty roles. And it's not to prevent from shooting through walls and hitting people and stuff. It's you're shooting on nuclear reactors and nuclear weapons and stuff inside of ships. And even those aren't true frangibles. They do break up, they do fragment, but those are for reduced ricochets, lower penetrations. It's R2LP, it's certain dodic within those certain roles. Yeah. Quit banking on missing. Thanks again to old Mike there, Garand. Cool video. He's got a good thing going for him, man. Yeah. Sorry it took me so long to get to it tonight. Hopefully I didn't drone on too far, but until next time, I'm Chad. This is the Chad Show, and this is OverReactions. Thanks. See you next time. Bye.